روحا جديدة على أغانيها. فنانة حائزة على جائزة جرامي مع Unforgettable with Love، الأغنية التي غنتها تكريما لوالدها أسطورة الجاز نات كينج كول. ناتالي كول لايف اون ستيج الخميس في 11 بتوقيت الرياض حصريا على هوليوود.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Southwest Airlines, proud sponsor of the NFL and official airline of Super Bowl 39. New V for Men thickening shampoo by L'Oreal Paris, because you're worth it. Kia Motors, Kia, make every mile count. And Visa, proud sponsor of the NFL. Get ready for the game.
With over 300 days of sunshine a year, Denver offers the outdoor enthusiast endless opportunities. You could be outdoors and still be in Invesco Stadium. And enjoying yourself, and the kickoffs have been good tonight. Here's another one deep into the end zone. Lawrence Tynes nails another one.
Jake Plummer's had a good solid first half. Done a nice job of moving around in the pocket. Slides a little bit, finds his favorite target so far in this ball game, Rod Smith. When you've got Quentin Griffith running well, that means you can do some things. There he puts a move on Sean Barber. Now Scott Fujita, he just doesn't know which guy to cover. Is it Scott, is it Quentin Griffith, or is it Jake Plummer? Jake's been most effective outside the pocket.
1st and 10 on the 20. Here's Quentin Griffin. And a flag on the play.
You know, Pat, we're on the on-camera when I was going to talk about Kansas City's defense. And the one thing that Eric Hicks, the defensive end, said to us yesterday, what they wanted to do with Jake Plummer was to keep him in the pocket. Don't let him get to the outside in containment. That's something they haven't done, and he's hurt him.
10-yard penalty, still first down.
Walk-off 10 against Denver.
And you really believe he's a much better quarterback outside of the pocket?
I think he's going to be a better quarterback the longer he plays in Mike Shanahan's system. I believe he can throw from the pocket, even though the last pass he threw was intercepted. I just think he has to throw the ball down the field, and the threat of being able to go outside should make him a better pocket passer.
Rod Smith was very astute in what he said about him. He doesn't believe he has to do it all by himself now. And that helps.
And I think in Arizona he felt like he did.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Middle screen, incomplete. Quentin Griffin had it, knocked loose by Bonnie Holiday.
Well, that was ugly.
Well, I'll tell you what, this was almost intercepted by Bonnie Holiday. This ball, Jake, as they're throwing that little screen in the middle of the field, and Bonnie Holiday was sitting there waiting on it. What's this? Number 99 is Bonnie Holiday. He goes back to the inside. That ball's up in the air. He almost has it.
See, I know Quentin's small or short or vertically challenged, however you want to put it. But you don't have to throw it down around his ankles.
Bonnie Holiday going down for that ball and broke his back.
Vertically challenged. I like that.
Like that one?
That's good. Plummer. Pass is incomplete. Reuben Douglas. Drones, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, how do you blame Jake? He bounces one off of Quentin Griffith in the middle. Reuben Drones let that one get through his hands. Now we're starting to see some cramps come up for the Denver Broncos. And this is the thing that I'm interested in seeing as this game goes on is
cramps?
The conditioning of the players. Not cramps. Pops. Goofball. Although the Denver Broncos are the guys that are having it. But what kind of conditioning? This is the first game of the season. They really haven't run a lot. They think they have, but not for 60 minutes of football.
And we are a mile high.
And so which team is going to be in better condition as we move through this second half will be interesting.
It should be Denver.
Should be.
But Al Wilson had cramps on the last play, the long field goal attempt before halftime. He was out on the field with cramps for a long time. They got him into the locker room.
Champ Bailey back in again.
Yep. Shanahan said if he's in, we're going to get him the ball or throw it in that direction.
Oh, they moved on the right side.
George Foster, big George Foster, number 72. Got a little quick trigger.
Ball start, 72 offense. 5-yard penalty, still third down.
When you're that big and you're out where you are, look at him. He's almost like on an island. When you move, First of all, the ground shakes just a tad.
Yeah, but you're like the only palm tree on the island if you're that big.
He is the island.
Oh. I mean, he just doesn't fit the mold of this offensive line.
And we asked Mike Shanahan about that, and he said, you know, the guy's got great feet, can run really well, but he only started 10 games in college.
What a blitz. Great.
He has large feet, I know that. That's what Jake should not have thrown.
Jake threw that left-handed.
I can't believe he did that. He threw the ball left-handed. And this is the one thing you were just talking about, Pat, not too long ago, when they were asking. Rod Smith said, hey, don't try to win this game by yourself. Don't try to do it. This was stupid.
Boy, this takes all the confidence that Mike Shanahan's trying to build in Jake Plummer. Here it is. Look, he switches, and he throws it his left hand. I mean, we saw Trent Green take a 20-yard sack, very uncharacteristic. And, you know, Jake Plummer trying to make some kind of a play as Jerome Woods comes in and hits him low. I mean, it just mind-boggling to see that kind of a play out of a quarterback in this many years.
Here's Holmes. Got inside the 5 at one time, knocked back.
You know, we were talking about, you know, Champ Bailey and all the things that he does. But I'll tell you what, here's a guy in on the running play. Now look at, he's talking to Jake saying, you know, I don't even understand that. First of all, you have a lot of problems standing in the pocket throwing right-handed. Now you're going to go in there and try to throw one left-handed? I don't think so.
I tell you something, you're in year 8. You can't make that decision. There's no excuse that you can come up with other than a bad football play.
2nd and 4 at the 4. Holmes again.
Look out. Holmes
is in. His 2nd touchdown of the day.
I believe there could be a wall of 8 people there.
There were.
But Priest Holmes is going to find a way to find a crack and a crease to get in.
Boy, I'll tell you what. You know who almost makes this play? Watch number 24, Champ Bailey. He sacrifices his body, makes Priest Holmes make the move inside, but he gets no help from the defense, and Priest Holmes gets the touchdown.
Well, you're not going to tackle Priest Holmes if you're running towards the sidelines. You've got to stop and square up on him. And that's something Denver wasn't able to do.
Jake, that touchdown's on you.
Kansas City able to take advantage of a turnover again. They're very good at that. Extra points good, and we have a tie with 11:23 left in the 3rd quarter. It's 17-17, the Broncos and the Chiefs. Just exactly what we expected.
إنه امتحان للسرعة، قدرة التحمل، وروح المنافسة القوية عند الفرسان. إحدى أعرق وأنبل الرياضات. سباق الخيول يبث حاليا على أوربت.
17-17 tie. The Chiefs able to tie it up in record style, taking advantage of 2 interceptions. 10 points in 46 seconds.
We've seen momentum switch twice in this football game.
Yeah.
Kansas City was on a roll in the beginning, sacked Trent Green. Denver came back, was on a roll, and then Jake Plummer's made a couple of errors that have put Kansas City back in the roll.
Hines kickoff sails deep again, but this one can be returned by Rock Alexander. Good coverage by Kansas City. He gets back to about the 23. Jake Plummer's numbers not bad in the first half. 11 out of 15 for 99 yards, a touchdown, no interceptions. The second half, he should have changed socks or something.
All you got to do, I tell you what, they get everybody in that huddle. I mean, you got to turn to it and say, hey, calm down, son.
I'd come out and run the football on the first play here. I'd give it to Quentin Griffith.
How about a bootleg?
Pass to Rod Smith. Let's go down to Susie Colbert.
Well, as you saw, it's been the tale of 2 halves for Jake Plummer. And this half, it's just all wrong. He told us he was going to try to keep things simple, not try to win the game on his own. The interception converted into a field goal to make it 17-10. And then a real bad move from the end zone. Linebacker Sean Barber brings it down, and Priest Holmes converts, takes it into the end zone to tie it up. 0 for 4 in this half for Jake Plummer.
just hit one. Rod Smith's 6th catch of the day. Here's Quentin Griffin. Got a blocker in front. Crosses midfield, first down. Greg Wesley brought it down, a 16-yard pickup.
Man, did he follow Dan Neion. Number 62 is the right guard pulling out. Look at this. He follows him. He'll push it right into the block. Bonk. Thank you, Dan.
You know, he'd only get about 8 yards, but there you see Rod Smith on Jerome Woods blocking downfield. The Denver Broncos have had great running backs that have posted great yards, and a lot of it is because of Ed McCaffrey as a wide receiver, Rod Smith as a wide receiver blocking downfield for him, Shannon Sharp as a tight end downfield.
Oh, offside.
Griffin's 3rd of the day from 47 yards out.
First of all, I thought Jerome Woods was offside, number 21.
He wouldn't have caught him anyway.
It wouldn't have made any difference. It made no difference. Boy, I'll tell you what, this is right up the gut. This is up the gut. I said he's got the whole package. Watch this. Look at the blocking. They just seal off. And once they get in the secondary, forget about it. It's all over. Wesley had no shot at him.
When you want to play aggressive downhill football with your linebackers, everybody has to have their fits right. If not, you wind up with a crater.
For the extra point, Jason Neion is good. 24-17. Quentin Griffin has carried 11 times for 110 yards, a 10-yard average.
الدوري الهولندي هو الموطن والكرة الشاملة هي المدرسة. هم ابتدعوها وأوربت تنقلها لكم، التغطية الكاملة للكرة الشاملة. الدوري الهولندي يبث حاليا حصريا على الرياضيات.
An electrifying performance by that young man, number 22, Quentin Griffin. 3 touchdowns. All 3 the Broncos have scored. Priest Holmes, on the other hand, has scored both the Kansas City touchdowns. 2-man show. 2 good ones. Micah Noor kicks off, and it sails 5 yards deep into the end zone where Dante Hall. Priest Holmes trots back on the field. It's his turn to shine with the Kansas City offensive unit.
المركز الرياضي يضعك في الصفوف الأمامية وينقلك إلى قلب الحدث. تغطية مباشرة وتحليل لأهم البطولات العربية والعالمية مع نخبة من ألمع الخبراء والصحفيين الرياضيين. المركز الرياضي مع ياسر علي ديب من الاثنين إلى الجمعة مباشرة على الرياضية.
Back at Invesco Field, Mile High. Cheerleaders have something to cheer about. Quentin Griffin, 3 touchdowns. The defense has been excellent as well. Kansas City's gotten 10 points off turnovers since halftime, and now they've got the ball and it's their turn. An electrifying performance by both sides.
They better get Tony Gonzalez in this ball game.
They're not going to be able to hear no matter who's playing. Priest Holmes. Priest fights outside the 25, 26. Let's go down to Susie Colbert.
Well, Pat, one of the biggest stories of the offseason. Did Mike Shanahan make the right move shipping Clinton Portis to Washington for Champ Bailey? Shanahan insisted it's easier to find good running backs. Well, it seems like everybody's happy because Clinton Portis had a touchdown on his first touch today, and Quentin Griffin is filling his shoes here. 11 carries, 111 yards, 2 touchdowns, and another one receiving. Even bigger, 10.1 yards per carry.
Amazing. Trent Green still has it. Slides short of a first down.
You know what's amazing? They run a bootleg. Trent Green comes out here. There are 3 receivers, and not one guy was open. They weren't even close to being open.
And there were 5 defensive Bronco linebackers and defensive backs in the area. The one thing that Larry Coyer, their defensive coordinator, talked to me about yesterday, he said, we want 11 guys running to the football. He has had his defense from sideline to sideline chasing the football all night.
You talk about intense. This guy, 56, Al Wilson, is intense. 3rd and short. Holmes gets the carry, breaks it for Moore. Priest Holmes outside the 40. Kansas City first down after he picks up 13.
Well, you know, you talk about Priest Holmes and what he sees. Folks, this is what he sees. Watch how quick he cuts back. Bang! He's back in the hole. You have no chance to get him. Lynch was almost overran the play number 47. But look at this cut back into the inside. Once he does that, you don't have a chance.
That was DJ Williams, number 52, the rookie from Miami, that got a little too anxious to go chase.
Gonzalez goes in motion. Holmes is going to get the carry again. And he's going to pick up yardage again to midfield.
How about 9?
You know, the amazing, Richardson got a great block in front of him. Amazing thing about him, he says that he's faster with the ball. I've heard guys say that before, but I never believed it.
Well,
him I believe.
Well, there's a reason he does the things he does is because of Tony Richardson, number 49. Look at this block. Tony Richardson seals that hole off. I'm telling you what, it's got to be a joy for these guys to run behind the 2 fullbacks that are playing tonight. Because Tony Richardson, once he gets out front, he's going to put somebody on the ground.
Just across midfield. Tony Richardson gets the carry, and he's still on his feet down inside the 30, inside the 35, or about there.
There was a time when they wanted Tony Richardson to be their halfback. I mean, until they got Priest Holmes, they tried Tony Richardson in a couple different ways to make him a halfback. He's got good skills. Nice job of reading. Terrific job again by that offensive line. And then here comes John Lynch. You know, John Lynch has been moved from strong safety to free safety in the Denver Bronco defense, but it hasn't stopped him from trying to absolutely annihilate people.
No matter where he plays, he's always going to be a strong safety. Green gives to Priest Holmes straight ahead for about 4.
You know, during training camp, John Lynch was at practice, and he didn't like what he was seeing. They're running, they were sloppy, they weren't doing anything right. John Lynch, first year with this team, stopped practice and called the whole team over, the entire football team over, and just ripped them because he's that kind of guy, and they listened to him. The coaching staff just sat there and watched. That's what they wanted him to do.
So far, this drive has gone 47 yards, and they've all been runs. And here's another one. Priest Holmes, touchdown. What a run by Priest Holmes.
And he ran
33 yards out.
Pat, he ran through John Lynch.
Yes.
Man, there's going to be another thing for his dad to look at. He said he wanted to make spectacular plays in this football game because he knows the only way his father's going to be able to see him in Iraq is if he makes special plays and becomes highlights. Well, I'll tell you, this one here should be looked at over and over and over again. What great balance he keeps.
Did you see what he did with his right arm? He went back and retucked that ball because he knew that there was someone coming from the backside.
That goes right back to proving your point when Pat mentioned the fact that he's faster with the ball in his hand.
The extra point to tie it.
Oops.
Is good. Tynes ties it up. Priest Holmes, I don't know about the altitude affecting him. He jumps high, runs high.
إنه امتحان للسرعة، قدرة التحمل، وروح المنافسة القوية عند الفرسان. إحدى أعرق وأنبل الرياضات. سباق الخيول يبث حاليا على أوربت.
Where is John Lynch headed? We'll see if we can find out. Priest Holmes just broke through a tackle attempt by Lynch.
We know where he was headed. Priest Holmes.
Yeah. Tynes kickoff is going to be returned. Ruck Alexander with an alley outside the 30. Good return to the 34. Let's go down to Susie Colbert.
Well, Pat, every year Priest Holmes sets definitive goals. Last year it was touchdowns. He broke the NFL record. This year he tells us it's big runs over 30 yards. Last year he only had 1. Over the last 4 years, just 3. He's already had a run of 33 yards tonight for that last score. So he's already made his goal. And hidden in that, if he gets those big runs, well, could be the NFL single season rushing record. 2,300 yards. Who knows? If anybody could do it, it's Priest Holmes. Once he sets his mind to something and he has a vision, you never know.
It was funny, too, and he'd also, Susie, along with what you were talking about, those 30-yard runs, he's focused also on coming out from the Chiefs' 20-yard line, looking at the field. He's seeing past the defenders, looking at the field. He realizes how good this team is when it gets close to the goal line. He knows they can score touchdowns. He wants to try and help them get into that position. It's just, look at that, right through John Lynch. Look at him keep his balance. And now accelerates away from the linebackers.
I'll tell you, that was really funny, though. Yesterday, we're talking to him, and he said, you know, last year I concentrated on touchdowns. I just wanted touchdowns, okay? And then he said, this year, 30-yard runs. And Joe and I were looking at each other, and Pat said, you know, thinking, well, you know, there must be a lot of them. I mean, how many did you have last year? He said 1. Well, he just tied it.
I like what his father said when he told him he was thinking about retiring. His father said, why would you do that? What would make you want to do that?
You know, and he basically said to him, too, he said, son, you want to give up something that you love for the family, but the family can support you with what you love, so you keep going after it.
Here comes Jake Plummer on the rollout going deep. Ashley Lilly, 56 yards from Jake Plummer.
You know what? Jake Plummer's like the little girl with the curl. She can just break your heart sometimes, and then all of a sudden she can look like the most beautiful thing in the world. This time he's beautiful. There's Jake rolling out of the pocket, sets, and just fires the ball. Watch this catch by Ashley Lilly. Moves inside on McLeon, over the top. Great play by this young man. And this is a guy that they need to step up for this offense.
Fumble into the end zone. It appeared that Kansas City recovered it. He may have been down. Let's see.
No, they're calling it a touchback.
Are they?
Yep, they're going to call it a touchback.
And they'll bring it out to the 20. Kansas City's ball.
Mike's looking up at the replay, wants to see if it's worth challenging or not.
All right, here he comes.
No, that ball's out.
Ball's out. Yeah, they don't even think about challenging this. This is a fumble.
That's Greg Wesley. He's one of those guys that was still around when Gunther Cunningham was the head coach here of the Kansas City Chiefs.
Dexter McLeon made the recovery in the end zone. So they bring it out to the 20. Kansas City takes over.
Woo.
Last drive they had, the Chiefs, there were no passes, all runs.
Tell you, the Chiefs are in a situation where the Broncos have to basically stop themselves because this Bronco offense has gone up and down the field.
Priest Holmes gets a yard. Marco Coleman on the stop.
That's their 8th straight run. The last time they had the ball, they ran it 70 times for 80 yards. Priest Holmes did, and the touchdown. Now they open up this series with a run as well.
Well, you're a quarterback, so you don't even understand this. But why throw the ball when you don't have to?
Just because you have to if you're a quarterback. It's part of your nature.
You know you don't.
It's what you do.
You used to start throwing when you were in the locker room.
I got loose in the locker room, yep.
Well, he's going to throw here, I guarantee you. No, he's not. He's going to call a timeout. Trent Green headed over for Dick Vermeil's advice.
He saw something he didn't like. We talk about players like Peyton Manning, for example, in Indianapolis. And, you know, Tom Brady does a great job of looking over defense and directing things. Trent Green is exactly that same way. He's been in this offense for like 10 years, knows exactly what he didn't like to see. Quentin Griffith has only been around a couple of years, only in his second year. And all the good things that he has done tonight, manages to almost try and get his 4th touchdown, and ball gets away.
24-24, 4:13 left to play in the 3rd quarter. Opening night, opening day in the NFL. Another great year. Flag on the play is Priest Holmes scrambles to get back to the line of scrimmage. Marco Coleman. But there is a flag on the play.
Holding, 77 offense. 10-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Willie Rofe, haven't heard much from him, except he's very effective. Monday Night Countdown at 7:30 Eastern on ESPN is the best place to get ready for Monday Night Football. Then on ABC at 9 Eastern, Brett Favre and the Packers take on Jake Delhomme and the Panthers on Monday Night Football. That ought to be a dandy. Always is when Brett Favre's involved. A lot of noise from the crowd as Trent Green looks downfield. Pass complete to Tony Gonzalez. That's his first reception of the night.
Now he beats Kenoy Kennedy, and this was a play-action pass. But, you know, it's been all night long for Tony Gonzalez to try to get free. Now he goes inside. Kenoy Kennedy, he's got him on his shoulder. But Kenoy Kennedy doesn't even, you know, he just kind of backs off him. He doesn't stay with him. He doesn't run a great route. He just gets himself open.
And Tony Gonzalez has a foot that has to have surgery on it, but they're not going to have that until the season's over. He says it can't get any worse. I'm just going to play on it.
Gonzalez on the move in the backfield. Trent Green back to throw it. Into the crowd. Broken up, almost intercepted.
You know, you're talking about that rule where you can't touch a guy after 5 yards. I'll tell you, tonight these officials have let these guys play.
Really
I'm not saying there has been pass interference. What I'm saying is they are allowing these guys to play defense.
I think the officials have to grow into this emphasis as well. I don't think the preseason is a real test for them, as it hasn't been for the players.
Rod Smith back deep. Steve Cheek to punt for Kansas City. Done a good job so far. This one not his best. Again, a reminder, tonight we've had Champ Bailey wired. Let's take a listen to his highlights tonight.
It does it all, huh? Offense, defense.
That's effort.
Oh, man.
5 tackles, 1 interception, 1 reception.
Ashley Lilly.
Mike Shanahan calling plays to get Ashley Lilly involved now. We saw Rod Smith make quite a few catches in the first half for Jake Plummer. Now Mike's trying to get Ashley Lilly in, and I promise you he's going to take a shot here at some point with Darius Watts, number 17, their number 2 pick out of Marshall, because he can flat fly.
Griffin breaks away from the first pack. and squirts out the other side.
I don't know how anybody could see Quentin Griffin behind that pile.
Well, it doesn't make a difference if you get, like, he's another one of these guys. If you think he's only 5'7", 195 pounds, but he's strong. And you can't bring him down with just one hand.
He said he had his knee down, and so it's called a loss of a yard. Make it 3rd and 7. There it is right there.
His rear end's down. Everything's down.
Yours been called a knee?
He got up quickly, I know that. Jake. Rod Smith into Kansas City territory. A first down, Denver.
What I've seen out of Denver's offense, when you spread 4 or 5 guys wide across the field, and I've seen this through the league. I saw it on Thursday night. I saw it this week watching games today. When you spread guys out, when you've got receivers of the quality of a Rod Smith and a quarterback that has the ability to throw the ball accurately like Jake Plummer, these offenses are darn near impossible to slow down and stop. I mean, you just can't get enough defensive people in position to make plays.
7 catches for Rod Smith. Deep and overthrown. Jake rolled out again. Intended for Darius Watts.
I mean, how many times, Vonnie Holliday, do they have to do this to you? Take a look at Lepsis goes down, Vonnie Holliday goes down, Jake Plummer comes back to the outside. You've got to come upfield.
In defense of Vonnie Holliday a little bit, new defensive coordinator, new system. Was under Greg Robinson a year ago, had to play it a certain way.
No, stop.
Now they want to make it more aggressive.
Stop. He's done it to him 6 times. Come on. Look, I don't care what the defense is.
Probably do it 6 more times.
Griffins at the line of scrimmage.
I'm trying to help the guy out here.
New defense.
John Browning made the stop. You guys got to stop bickering. It is 24-24 with the clock ticking down to end 3 quarters. We talked about the rivalry in the beginning. We haven't been disappointed. We talked about what's going on, how intense it is. We haven't been disappointed.
This is what you expect from a Kansas City-Denver rivalry. You expect close games. You expect hard hits. You expect big plays. We've had them all.
And we love it. At the end of the 3rd quarter, the score is the Chiefs 24, the Denver Broncos 24. We'll be back.
بمزجها الفريد بين الجاز والبوب تضفي ناتالي كول روحا جديدة على أغانيها. فنانة حائزة على جائزة جرامي مع Unforgettable with Love، الأغنية التي غنتها تكريما لوالدها أسطورة الجاز نات كينج كول. ناتالي كول لايف اون ستيج الخميس في 11 بتوقيت الرياض حصريا على هوليوود.
On October the 17th, 1994, the Chiefs and Broncos clashed in an epic battle. Trailing by 3 points in the 4th quarter, John Elway scored from 5 yards out to give the Broncos the lead. But with just 13 seconds left, Joe Montana, yes, Joe Montana, found Willie Davis for a touchdown to win it for the Chiefs and give Marty Schottenheimer his first victory ever at Mile High Stadium. The Chiefs have never won in this stadium in Vesco. And they got a challenge tonight. Up the middle is Ashley Lilly. Wide open.
Well, this defense just sold out. They had the blitz on. He's in the backfield all by himself, Jake Plummer. Watch all the white shirts coming. And Ashley Lilly is wide open in the middle. They just did not cover him. He was uncovered. That's Jerome Woods, the safety. Well, that was too easy. That was really too easy.
That was a heck of a catch, though. That ball thrown behind him a little bit. He dropped a lot of balls last year, said it was something he was going to focus on. Looks like he has.
Jake rolls. Tried. Scott Fujita expected him to roll and took him down.
Ta-da! Joe, did you see that last play?
I did.
You see how Fujita stayed on the outside?
Well, that's not Vonnie Holliday.
Yeah, no.
Well, no. Fajita's job is to go at the quarterback, not worry about the play action fake. Vonnie Holliday's is to try and chase the running back down, and that's what he was doing when Jake got outside. I'm telling you, new defense, Paul.
Griffin hit at the line of scrimmage by Ryan Sims, and I mean hit. He found him.
I'll tell you what. Ryan Sims, he loves this guy, Dick Vermeil, and he said this guy is a player. And that time, Quentin Griffin, watch this wall, bonk. I mean, that guy is not weak.
He took Dan Neal, the guard, nose up, stood him up, and then just took and planted Quentin Griffin.
I think I know why Vermeil likes him. Three-man rush this time by Kansas City. Jake for the end zone. No one there and no flags.
That ball was on its way out of the end zone anyway.
Intended for Champ Bailey, or in the direction of Champ Bailey.
Well, all Jake had to do was look to his left. He wouldn't have to worry about throwing to Champ Bailey. There's double coverage on Champ Bailey. Look at this, Jerome Woods. Now there's nothing. He just slips coming back to the inside. Warfield's got him short. Woods has got him deep. And that's an experienced receiver. Inexperienced receiver.
That's exactly right. Jake thinks that he's going to keep on going straight up when he gets around the double coverage, and he tries to break it in.
From 45 yards out, Jason Elam. With plenty of room on the end. He hits good. And Denver takes the lead 27-24. Plenty of time left.
الدوري الهولندي هو الموطن والكرة الشاملة هي المدرسة. هم ابتدعوها وأوربت تنقلها لكم. التغطية الكاملة للكرة الشاملة. الدوري الهولندي يبث حاليا حصريا على الرياضيات.
ESPN Sunday Night Football, brought to you by Bud Light. Fresh, smooth, real. It's all here. Hummer. Check out the H2 at Hummer.com. Hummer, like nothing else. Campbell's Chunky Soup. With big chunks of meat and veggies, it fills you up right. And Countrywide Home Loans. Realize your dreams.
Why don't you grab it?
In Vesco Field.
I'm going to take everything.
At Mile High.
What a game this is. This is wonderful.
27-24. Yes, it is.
Oh, man.
Dante Hall's only been able to get his hands on one kick.
Micah Norris doing a heck of a job kicking the ball out of the end zone.
There's another one.
Keeping up. Yeah, he thought about it. Let's go down to Susie Colbert.
Well, Pat, it's been an all-out duel tonight. Priest Holmes wanted to create highlights for his dad to see over in Iraq. He has all three of the Chiefs' touchdowns. Jake Plummer at once brilliant and then baffling. 188 yards passing, but 2 interceptions. He's also got that touchdown pass. And Quentin Griffin, solid gold in his first start. 2 rushing touchdowns and 1 receiving, 117 yards. And Champ Bailey, everything they wanted on both sides of the ball. An interception and a reception. Kind of reminds you of his days back at Georgia.
Those were great days for Champ Bailey. 1st and 10 at the 20. Sent Green back to throw it.
Well, that's a heck of a job by Johnny Morton getting open.
Yeah, a heck of a catch.
I mean, he was covered by Lenny Walls, number 35. He was all over him. And Trent Green still managed to get the ball in.
Lenny Walls is still down.
Well, that's a heck of a throw.
Mm-hmm.
Lenny Walls is still down, and they're working on him on the other side.
While they're working, we'll take a break with the Broncos up by 3.
المركز الرياضي يضعك في الصفوف الأمامية وينقلك إلى قلب الحدث. تغطية مباشرة وتحليل لأهم البطولات العربية والعالمية مع نخبة من ألمع الخبراء والصحفيين الرياضيين. المركز الرياضي مع ياسر علي ديب. من الاثنين إلى الجمعة مباشرة على الرياضية.
New experience for me here on Sunday night with you two guys. Great. Enjoy it.
We figured you'd enjoy being with us, too, because it is really
Everybody enjoys being with Paul.
One of my life wishes.
One of the guys
here with you two guys.
And Mike Patrick sitting at home just thinking, boy, it would be something. And soon we'll have him back here sitting with us next to Paul.
Well, Mike, if you're sitting home watching the game, it's great to have you with us.
That's a typical Paul comment.
What does that mean?
I don't know. We know we got a first down by Priest Holmes, and this guy, if he keeps it up the way he's running, that field, he says it looks long from back there when they've got to go another 65 yards. But I'll tell you what, he's on his way to 200.
He'll get another try. And he'll get some more. Priest Holmes rolls for about 9.
Yeah, you know, you take a look at this, and look where they mark this thing, because he actually doesn't go down. He rolls on top of his own players. It's a little toss to the outside. He's got some outstanding blocks. Now watch this part right here. He's not on the ground yet. So the ball actually should be closer to the 45-yard line than they actually put it.
24 carries, 148 yards for Priest Holmes. Busy night. Not through yet. Holmes again. For a couple, stopped by DJ Williams.
You know what I love about what the Kansas City Chiefs are doing is that they know that their best chance in this ball game really is running this football. And they're not worried about the clock. They're not really worried about the score. They're only down by 3. And they're doing the thing that they do best, and that's shove it down your throat.
Word on Lenny Walls is he has a strained right shoulder. Will not return. Almost intercepted, intended for Gonzalez. Kelly Herndon, the defender.
You know, it just looks like all night long with Tony Gonzalez, and he's having a terrible night. He's only caught 1 pass. It just looks like what they're doing in the defensive secondary, and correct me if I'm wrong, Joe, that they're coming out, there's somebody on them, but then they release Tony Gonzalez to somebody else. And in this case right here, the ball is thrown up in the air. Kelly Herndon goes in to make the play, but he actually wasn't covering him at the time.
Let me tell you, you don't have to be a statistical genius when you look at Kansas City's offense and say, who are we supposed to stop? The simple part is Gonzalez and Priest Holmes are their 2 leading receivers. If you want to shut down this offense, you better shut down both of those guys.
بمزجها الفريد بين الجاز والبوب تضفي ناتالي كول روحا جديدة على أغانيها. فنانة حائزة على جائزة جرامي مع Unforgettable with Love، الأغنية التي غنتها تكريما لوالدها أسطورة الجاز نات كينغ كول. ناتالي كول لايف اون ستيج الخميس في 11 بتوقيت الرياض حصريا على هوليوود.
Looks like there've been an awful lot of cramps tonight, but on the Denver side, and that's surprising.
Priest Holmes isn't in. It's Blaylock in the backfield.
Right. Blaylock in motion. Blitz coming. Trent Green gets rid of it. Gonzalez on the reception picked up about 4 or 5.
I tell you, every time that Tony Gonzalez has even been close to the ball, someone's whacking him. And that's his second catch. And you watch this, when he catches the ball, there's somebody there all the time. And again, he's your second leading receiver. Priest Holmes the other one. You shut those 2 guys down. They just haven't been able to slow Priest Holmes down.
Dante Hall comes wide left. Priest Holmes is it deep in the backfield. Kennison in motion. Here comes a blitz. Kennison.
Oh, what a play.
Get the first down. Ruck Alexander.
That's a great play by a rookie. Young man out of Washington. All Kennison has to do, all he has to do is make Ruck miss, and he's got a lot of field ahead of him. Plant yourself, be strong. Ruck says you aren't going anywhere.
And the Chiefs are going to have to punt. Steve Cheek, Rob Smith standing back at the 10 for Denver.
Just don't kick this thing in the end zone, please.
Now to kick it straight up. or try to. That's a pretty good effort there, looks like. Smith signals fair catch and makes it at about the 13. A 33-yard punt, but pretty effective. Don't miss the 2004 World Series of Poker, the final night. One player will walk away with $5 million. 2004 World Series of Poker. Tuesday at 9 Eastern, only on ESPN.
I've learned new terms watching that, you know, the flop, the river. I mean, we just turned cards over when I used to play poker when I was a kid. Now they get all kinds of names for them.
You don't play anymore?
Nah.
You ever seen him gamble? You'll know why.
That's right. I'm a bad gambler.
Quentin Griffin gets the Broncos some room and a first down.
You know, Pat, you think about all the years you watch running backs, and the great ones can do what this guy just did now. You watch Griffin here, stop dead, then go back and see the hole, and then pick up a first down. Well, look at this. What? Stops. Totally.
One of the keys is you can see it.
That's a little
All the
bit.
great runners have great eyesight.
And that's a little bit like Barry Sanders, except Barry hopped a little bit. Quentin just planted his feet and cut back.
Here he is again. And yardage again, but not much. Monty Beisel, the middle linebacker, made the stop.
I would expect the Kansas City Chiefs defense to become a better defense as the year goes on. I think Gunther Cunningham, the new defensive coordinator, is finding out what his guys can do. He has some veterans that have been with him, like Jerome Woods, Greg Wesley, Eric Warfield, and Eric Hicks. But they haven't been able to shut down Quentin Griffin.
Plummer shakes away. And Jake slides outside the 40, and that'll be another first down. 15-yard scramble by Jake Plummer.
You know what? I believe that was a quarterback draw. We talked about Quentin Griffin's moves. Why do you see the moves of Jake Plummer? This is a quarterback draw, but yet there's nowhere to go. And look at the job he does of making Eric Hicks miss him. Hicks coming in on the outside. Jake doesn't have any room.
That's heads up by the quarterback.
Jake Plummer is the closest thing to John Elway they've had at quarterback here since Elway left 5 years ago.
Tatum Bear.